Neighbours of Reddit, what is the weirdest thing you overheard through your wall? I heard our neighbour in a loud voice say, "Where have you been all night, you effing slut? How many boys have you slept with today, huh?" Oh, blimey, yeah. As their cat is coming home. Days later we learn she's pregnant. If your walls are thin, it can be somewhat usual to hear your neighbour blow their nose, or snore, or break up with their boyfriend, neutral face emoji, or struggle to put their charger in the wall. Even I was getting frustrated. Or burp, or sing opera to their Roomba, or go... or sneeze, especially if it's so loud it sounds like... It's 3:50 in the morning and I heard my neighbour sneeze through the wall and I said, "Bless you," and all I heard was, what the fuck? Or cough, or pee, or bail down the stairs, or watch porn. Go on, my son. Or yell, "Alexa, shut the fuck up, you're just adding to my shitty day." Or fart. Thrice. Wall are so thin in this flat, I heard my neighbour fart, then the cheeky bugger blamed it on me. But some things are not usual to hear. I once heard my neighbour say, "As the little creature burrowed its way into my anus." What the actual fuck? There is no context I can think of that makes it explicable. No idea what the context was, but I just overheard my neighbour say, "Who do you think I am? Jason Momoa?" I just overheard my neighbour ask her boyfriend, "No, but the fat percentage in milk depends on how fat the cow was, doesn't it?" What even? Overheard my neighbour's girlfriend in tears demanding he admit there is nothing special about the French. Just overheard my neighbour yell, "What are you going to do, shit on me? I'll shit on you." I just overheard my neighbour loud and clear through the wall, "Yee!" And I cannot stress this enough. Ha! Just overheard my neighbour telling an amazing story about their friend who got really drunk, gave themselves a concussion, tried to break into an old people's home, got cautioned by some armed police, and then went home and ate an entire loaf of bread. In one of my old apartments, I could hear my downstairs neighbour rapping in the bathroom. Top hits include, "I got that Adderall, yeah, make them bitches crawl. I got that Adderall, yeah, make them panties fall. Bitch, I'm on that Adderall, that Adderall." And, "I don't brush my teeth, I don't give a fuck. I don't comb my hair, I don't give a fuck. I don't wash my face, I don't give a fuck." What a bad lad. Just heard my neighbour through my wall say, "The most vulnerable thing you can do, besides be an actor, is be naked." I live in Massachusetts, and why the fuck are you holding an iguana? And where did you find it? You know, I've fallen off so many roofs, I don't even care anymore. Felipe, I just vomited blood. It's wine, go back to sleep. Every man fucks with Lego. Magic booby. Overheard my neighbour tell his wife, "Cool, my armpits still smell like barbecue sauce." I just heard my neighbour throw his phone at the wall and shout, "Damn you, Flappy Bird!" Screaming, like violent screaming. "You fucker! I'll fucking kill you! You stupid piece of shit!" This went on for 10 full minutes. My whole family was ready to call the cops. Then we hear fucking spiders! Ah! Just overheard my neighbour talking to her dog. "Stop barking!" "Oh, you're a literal psychopath." Told my cat, "You need to big chill, homie." And I just heard my neighbour through the wall repeat, "Big chill." I just overheard my neighbour go outside and say to his chickens, threateningly, "Where are my eggs? Where are they?" So, remember when Kizza had surgery on his dick and now he can piss for like 8 miles? I'm intrigued. Just heard my neighbour through the wall say he was getting fucked raw by this coconut in a very concerned voice. It's Christmas. Overheard a couple fighting through the wall and the woman screamed, "Do you really want to break up over a Nickelback CD?" I overheard my neighbour asking her daughter why the bathroom was wet. One summer, the woman above us was going through a breakup, and during one fight, she wailed, "I worked from home for you." My fiancé and I still yell that at each other. I thought I heard my neighbour talking softly through the wall. Turns out my stomach grumbling. "I worked from home for you, remember that?"
God, is that your stomach I can hear?
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Listen to that.
What on earth did you eat?
I don't know. This will sort it.
This guy's been posting quotes from the girls that live about him for years now. There are a lot of interesting and funny ones in there. Here are 5 for flavour. Oh my god, the power just went out. The power just went out. Turn on the lights, I can't see. Pizza goes in the recycling, right? He's going on a vacation to Amazon. It was like the headquarters or something. Oh, I get it. It's called string cheese because it comes off all stringy. Was that a regular fart, or did you just queefer Sutherland? Anyway, heard my neighbour say this through the wall. Oh, I could do with a frog sausage. Wait, what? What the fuck is a frog sausage? Woman that lived in the apartment below me. This day, this hour, this minute, this second, I have had it and I can't take it anymore. Followed by a man's defeated voice. It's a fucking toilet seat. Pointless debate I overheard my neighbour having with his mate about whether his Mazda 626 had a spoiler or not. It is a spoiler. No, it's just the boot lid. Overheard my neighbour saying, areolas, I wanna see your areolas. My next door neighbour likes to watch Michael Bay movies at full volume. Good. Posted by, Redditor for 7 years, second comment. Nice. Game must not be going well. I know this because I just heard my neighbour yell, "Are you fucking kidding me?" as he punched the wall. Oh, sorry about that. I appear to have accidentally channeled, one of my favourite videos.
I'm not listening to each other.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I can't fucking believe that! I can't fucking believe that!
2 women who live next door were arguing. The older woman started screaming, "That's fucking witchcraft! Witchcraft! Fucking witchcraft!" I heard an indistinct voice. The older woman screeched again, "It's witchcraft!" About 2 minutes later, I heard the shower turn on and the other lady started singing the damn song from Frozen in a rather pretty voice. I overheard my neighbour kid tell his friends he punched himself in the dick so hard he threw up and shit himself. Just overheard my neighbour saying, "Fuck you, Dad, I'm making a ham sandwich." My neighbour looked over his fence, looked at me straight in the eyes and said, "The last time I looked at somebody like this, they died a week later." And after that, he just went back to his business like the conversation never even happened. I was about 8 when he said this to me, so I spent the next week living in fear. I'm sorry, but this is hilarious. This was actually on the poster, Weirdest Things You've Seen Your Neighbour Do, of which I particularly enjoyed this one. I live on the 2nd floor of a 2-floor apartment. I was outside, walking down the steps to the ground, when my next door neighbour just walks outside and throws an entire plate of spaghetti over the side of the balcony onto the bushes below. I looked up at him like, what the fuck? And he just stared at me and said, "I made too much spaghetti," and walked back inside. Just overheard my neighbour say that Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't a bad guy. Just heard my neighbour through the wall saying to her daughter, Justin Bieber didn't get to where he is today by lying in bed. Overheard my neighbour through the window say, "I'm awake, and that's the problem. I don't see why I can't stab someone. If I stab someone, it's between me and them, and not me and the state. When it's your time, it's your time. I've seen all the Final Destination movies." Your mother is not part of this relationship, David. I'm not a homosexual, I'm just flamboyant. If I can't touch your tits, then what are you doing here? I've heard my neighbour say, "Jindagi bahut choti hanya, pyar se je ho, aram se je ho, kya dikkat han." Hindi for life is very short, friend. Live it with love, live it comfortably. What is the problem? That's nice to have a nice one for a change. I heard my neighbour in the apartment once say, "I have bathed in human blood." I was outside mowing the lawn. When I shut the mower off, I heard my neighbour scream, "Magic booby!" followed by silence. Wait, do you live next door to a guy from higher up? No, I accidentally posted twice. Just overheard my neighbour call out to her 8-year-old son to ask if he pissed in the mop bucket. Living in Australia, I overheard, "Ma'am, is the toilet working again?" "Nah, mate, just go into the backyard." "But I don't want to piss on the tree again." "What? You think you're too good for the tree?" This went on for 10 minutes. Dude ended up pissing on a tree. Overheard my neighbour on the phone. "Nah, it's better now." Yeah, no, it's a bit like wet Play-Doh. No, I don't need to know anything more. I used to share a wall with my neighbour's bathroom, and one night I heard him on the toilet singing at the top of his lungs, "You can't always get what you want," between intermittently shouting "woo" Ric Flair style. It still haunts me to this day. You can't always get what
Still, it could be worse.
Sometimes I can feel when my neighbour uses the toilet. If I'm in my bathroom, especially on the toilet, I feel a shift upwards as if they say down at the same table as me. Hey, it's like the devil's seesaw. Oh. Overheard my neighbour say that he's got more money than God. Kids next door having a water fight. Mom, don't you kids get water up here? Kid, desperately, but Mom, this is war. Just overheard my neighbour's 3-year-old talking very seriously with her dad. I am a very big princess. Fuck you, rye bread. Well, it doesn't matter if the drink's drink, it's drunk drink. Long story long, short, I'm not drunk. Wag, fogfoot, spank that dank Walt Whitman. At least that's what it sounded like through the wall. Just overheard my neighbour on the phone telling someone that your 30s are for crying in the club on a Thursday night while sipping $18 cocktails, and now I need someone to put that on a t-shirt. Just overheard my neighbour calling the guy who lives above her bowling ball butterfingers, absolutely fucking demolished. What I just heard my neighbour yell through the wall? Yo, this bit looks like Pinhead Larry. Skull emoji! I overheard my neighbour praying and asking, now, are you really okay, God? Skull emoji. I just overheard my neighbour tell his girlfriend, you're trying to be sexy, but you're scary. Skull emoji. When my neighbours have sex, it sounds like an inquisitive journalist is interviewing an angry rhino. Yeah. Heard my neighbour moaning sexually through the wall, then nothing for a while, and now the Succession theme. It's environmental storytelling. My neighbour somehow talked a women into his bed. Late one night I heard loud noises, followed by laughter. They were having a farting contest. Analog smiling face with tear. That's actually really sweet. My favourite movie is Inception. Okay. I know you didn't mean this by the question, but my neighbour at work, we'll end on this one by the way, says some interesting things. I've recently started writing them down. Well, Barry, dip me in shit and call me a gingerbread man. That's actually correct. He could have pissed on my lawn. I wouldn't have known any different. No, but seriously, this is one of the quieter concerts in a long time. In response to someone at the office laughing obnoxiously loud, hey, nothing's that funny. I put a candle up my ass and mooned my sister once and I didn't laugh that loud. We'll end properly with a quote I remember from one of my office neighbours back when I worked in an office. I won't say his name. Actually, I will. He won't care. It's George. Got a fact for you. Did you know the colour of the sky is actually green? No, wait. It's blue. No, wait. What colour is it? Thanks, George.